Hi, everybody. Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer. This is a new podcast for the week of, well, I guess for the last few days of January. And this is being recorded on the day before the full moon, uh, the wolf moon in Leo. This is being recorded January the 27th. And I woke up this morning with the sense that it was January the 28th. And I feel like that is part of the energy of just wanting to get moving, get charging forward. As you notice that you can see a whole lot of my space today. I'm trying to adjust my camera, but also being okay with the little bit of vulnerability that this is kind of um, where life is right now. There's a lot of things everywhere, and there's a lot of pieces, and putting together the pieces. This, so I just want to, and I'm doing a lot of ums in the moment. I'm like, where's that coming from? I think that's tired, that's exhausted, and there's this feeling of being very tired. So I'm going to use this opportunity with this podcast to speak a little bit about the energy of what I'm picking up as a channel, as a mystic. I'm not going back and looking through the astrology or looking back through what other healers are representing or presenting as their interpretations of what this moon means or what they're communicating through. I'm just in the energy that we have a full moon, that we have some conjunctions, but we also have the sense of a real world. And I live real, I live vulnerable, I am honest, and I am authentic to myself now more than I've ever been in my life. And so in my office looks like this because I spend a lot more time not with clients. I'm spending a lot more time with myself, spending a lot more time focusing on what needs to get done. Sorry, I did just pause there. I had to close my blind. It kept trying to make my camera go into auto adjust, and it was as if we're being put in the light and being put in the dark and coming back again. And so there was a lot of shifting happening here. I do want to bring up um hold on. Hold on. Bear with me here. Uh uh just to keeping it real here, keeping it real. So if you're listening through audio, you can't see what I'm about to show, but if you're watching the video, you can see. What I'm about to show is one of the cards from the Everyday Goddess Oracles. And if you're on screen, you're looking at the visual, you can see my back wall has two big posters that are now up and they're new. And these are the Oracle cards that are being created, the Everyday Goddess. This is the deck of existing beyond our shadows. It goes into the whole series of more than existing, and that's where I have been, is not in my shadows, is is embracing some of the journey that I have been on, um, downloading more information, new information. But I also have this for today and for the energy that's coming through. And this is a card that came out. It is the zero in my deck. And if, of course, if you're in the audio, you can't see this. So what I'll tell you is that it is a mother holding her newborn child. The new deck of cards has the maiden, the mother, and the crone. This card doesn't fit into either one of the categories in this moment. And when she's holding her child for the first time, she's not even thinking of her job, of what it's going to be a mother. She's not thinking of anything of the past, of what she may be missing, the party and the life, the friends, the freedom she had. She's not thinking anything. She's not thinking about when she's old and she's got grandchildren. All she's doing is being in the moment. Unconditional love, purity. It's that pure essence of what unconditional love means. And we've lost that in the world in so many ways and in so many places. And when you look at the little girl in the picture on my on the deck of the oracle cards, she's the number one card. I think she's the number one card. And so she's the innocence and she's grace. And when we return to innocence, when we return to walking in grace, and that's where we, we're trying to get to there within our own. Well, I'm trying to get there. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's a place of where I really truly feel in my life that if there's a place that if there's a place where I could place myself in a sense of explaining or telling anyone where I am, benevolence would be a word that I would use. And I just finished writing that in the fifth book, The Way. And in that, benevolence is the essence of kindness and what it means to understand kindness behind beyond the word of being just kind. Was that I had to be kind to me, and being kind to me meant that I would have to also uh, be kind enough to rest and pause where I am. And so the way home means that sometimes you have to just find a place and sit, find a place and breathe. And so what was channeling through in the messages this week was really about so, I just keep wanting to fall over. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking, where is Corrie? Where is her energy? So I'm in channel. So there's but I'm falling into this, I'm falling into this state of peace. Um, and I'm using words like bliss, benevolence, words that I never thought that it would be in my vocabulary to describe myself, and unconditional love and purity and purification. And during a time when the whole world is an asshole, I'm not going to lie, um, there is, and that's a truth, and not the people in general. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as if we, even in wins and losses, no matter what it is, it's like we don't need to rub noses into what just happened. We don't need to keep being assholes to each other. We don't need to keep trying to torture somebody or make somebody pay. None of that's helping the world. That never solves anything. And it's just, it's look at raising children and raising life. And so from that moment of unconditional love is that no matter how we've, how far we've got away from home, our tantrums, where we've been, is that being able to breathe. And so holding that new child, and the image in the picture really truly shows a mother looking down and holding the child, and just this whole, like, that little child that just got born came through this most traumatic experience. The mother just went through the most traumatic experience, but also the most beautiful experience of when we look at the gifts on the other side, or we look at the opportunities on the other side. And that's the way I'm looking at my life right now, is that the past couple years have been a shit show. I'm not going to lie. It has been a hard journey to take. And the fact that I just said shit show may get me censored. And that's pathetic. And that's sad. And that's so far away from anything that we should be doing. Um, we're not going to find that sense of peace by not dealing with what we need to deal with, by shutting things up and suppressing and pretending it's not happening. Is not going to help. So while I'm sitting in this peaceful state, what I'm doing is I'm sitting in what has happened, staying in the now, staying in the moment, staying very present, and where I am in this experience and where this mood feels like it has taken me. And if you're not in Corrie School of Magic, I highly suggest you go join Corrie School of Magic and not get caught in the word magic. Please don't get caught in the word magic, because if you are, you're going to be having your little asshole moment of judgment. And that's what we do. Um, and it's about feeling the magic and seeing the magic in you. And there's so many programs, but I just posted, or it not I just posted, Lisa just posted. That's an asshole moment of my part, was I just took credit for something I didn't do. See all the places when you start to become aware of how you communicate and speak and the things that we do. And so my moment that of my creation was in creating. I created a new meditation for the full moon, and I even recorded early. It just came out early, so I'm ahead of myself again. But it was for the full moon, and it's a past life healing. And it allows us the space and time to squeeze ourselves down through the years, squeeze ourselves back, and to walk back through the years, to look at the cycles, the continuals, the the repeats that we have within our lifetimes and in other lifetimes, and to be able to make a turn. So we bent it. We bent the energy in the past, and we changed the story, and we walked back in nothing but love and joy and blissfulness, and start to see see this new light, and to walk in this new light, and to bring the beautiful moments of seeing ourselves at the end of stories in the past so that they're inspiration and we can be inspired, and to bring that forward into the future, to then walk back through the years again and to hold ourselves with such love, to walk with such powerful energy as our animal spirit. And the wolf is one of my animal spirits. And so when we see a lone wolf, it's usually the band of the its own group, and I'm getting words out. Really, its own pack had pushed the wolf out. And why? Was it not of service to him? Was it not strong enough? Was it not? And it's like, we're not a wolf pack. Like in the wild, we're human beings, but we have animal instincts. So we instinctually, when we get threatened or we're operating from our fight and flight brain and not a peaceful, calm sense, we push people out of the pack, out of the human pack. We think that it is okay, that we just cancel people out and say, oh, I don't like them and I don't agree with them. But we were all fighting and the whole world was involved in the fight. It's like in school when a fight breaks out in the playground and everybody is somehow involved. If you were yelling, if you're screaming, if you were, just yelling out and calling people nasty names, you were still involved. And everybody it was involved in one way or the other. So it might not have been your fight. It might not have been your fight. But if it cost you a sense of peace, or if you acted and you responded and acted away from your true self, then you were involved. And this is now time to stop and pause and say, listen, we all had a part. We all played our part. And mostly the parts that are still being played are the ones that want to play us. And so the whole world is reacting and responding to the ones who are the biggest bullies right now, who are still instilling, spreading fears based around trying to be so superpower of a world that is not theirs to superpower and be in control. And that's my nicest way of putting it. And I don't have a nice, that is the nice. And I can't be mean. I can't be an asshole to anything else. It's just that, you know what? We all need to take a good look. We all really do need to take a good look that things have ended and new beginnings have started, and we don't know how they're going to look, and we don't know what it's going to be, but we cannot we cannot allow it to take our sense of peace and our freedom. And that's a big thing, including our freedom of speech. What the person that you're trying to shut up today, the person that you want to be censored today, it's going to be you tomorrow. Because when they place new laws, new rules that really truly dictate to us all of who we're allowed to be, and that every word that I have to think about, you have to think about before you even speak them, that when we're working from integrity within ourselves, and we should be, and we're trying to be the best benevolent being that we could be, that we truly, we're grown-ups. We should know how to act and behave, and that our words are pretty normal, or that is that now we're considering that anyone who is in the world trying to help, that don't have a big ass university degree, is not of service, and you get to dictate who's going to be worthy to listen to. Like, I think we have an issue. And so those places have taken the world away from peace, but it's also added more resentment. So we've had a lot of resentment that's been floating around. And in this moment of where I'm sitting in my work, and I even hate to even come out to even speak of this, but it's a must. And so here, as I'm creating, what I'm thinking is that I really pay attention to my words, that I recognize the energy behind my words, behind any action, and to be an upstanding citizen doesn't mean that I have to degrade somebody else or censor somebody else. And that changes, and that's really truly something that we have lost. And so with this beautiful card that I pulled and holding that piece, is that in my heart I have unconditional love for the world. I have unconditional love for where everyone has been during this experience. And that inside of that fight, or beyond that fight, there's a human being who is hurting either way. There's a human being that has regrets, that has had been through a human experience where they've acted reacted and responded away from themselves, that got caught up in a fear story because we have been taught and conditioned because they got what they wanted. We gave them what they wanted. We allowed the fear to tear the world apart, to tear away our world. What I mean by that is your community, your family, your friends. And really, do you discount your family members, your sisters, your brothers, your own parents because you did not see eye to eye, that you took a stand for a stranger who don't give a shit about you? Think about that. And so when I write as if everybody is my family who I'm going to love and honor. Who that my words, is that is my words are my experiences, but my experiences doesn't mean that it's somebody else's experience. So as I was creating this and thinking of the purity to zero, is that I don't need to belong anywhere. I've stopped wanting to belong anywhere. I don't need to be identified as anything in particular. I am one more human being in the world trying to do the right thing for the right reason, trying to use the gifts that I have to be of service in some way to myself and to the world. And by the world, I mean by those who make a choice and choose to come into my world. Not trying to force, not putting out emails and messages that say urgent, don't miss, you will miss your opportunity, you will be sorry. Change our words and change the energy, because it's not the person that's reading the email that started out that way. That's your desperation. And that's our wants, our desires. And so we've started to create a world that's operating from that sense of I have to I have to fear people into, I have to make people feel as if they need me. Well, no one needs us, but we need ourselves. And the world needs us to coexist together in a much more beautiful way than what we have been doing before. So as we come back to purifying our thoughts or words, it means pausing, looking at our own actions, our own responses, and how we've behaved ourselves, not taking credit and ownership for somebody else's accomplishments, not being resentful that somebody else has accomplished what you're not willing to put the work into, not being angry that somebody else is rich and you're not judging somebody who stepped up into a big role and did the best that they could with what they had. Have you done that? Have you taken on the job? Because if you haven't walked in their shoes. You haven't had to make those decisions and those choices. Don't judge what you haven't walked. If I was there, if I had done that, well, you weren't there and you didn't do it. Step up, be support, use supporting words, not anger words. And then a little note to the media. Stop trying to stop trying to make yourself popular by fearing the world into loving you. Your attitude is showing. And when your attitudes are showing, you're exposing your real truth. The insecurities, your own fear stories, your own needs, your own desires to be needed, to be wanted. And you were not out of a job. You were not out of money. And unless you're one of those people that are fighting for their lives right now, fighting for their jobs, in a fear inside of here, we don't know what's happening. And so people are scared. They have real reason to be afraid. Without a job, with no money to feed their family, with the whole world wanting to cancel out if you don't agree, they have real reason to fear. Being told by somebody who should be held to a higher standard to just go get another job, that's not compassion. That's not benevolent. That's not kind. It's cruel. And have we really become that kind of world? Because have you been left in that situation? Have you walked in those shoes of poverty, of poor, and to use those who are poor for your own good, so that you can get a position to make big money and then not think about those people after? Shame, shame. And that's the truth. And I live in that truth. And as much as I want to come in and do the most joyful experiences, the most joyful messages, these are the messages of truth. And when I try to channel through and just say, oh, we have this beautiful utopia world that's happening and the stars are aligning to a beautiful life. We need humans to align. The place that this channel's from, they don't need us. And in the very beginning, before this beings of the humans who allowed ego, fears and insecurities, and the traumas of the childhood, like they're going to be better than the generations before, has taken us so far away from that place of peace. So on this card, I speak of, in the beginning, there was love. On the first day, a miracle arrived. This miracle was you. Your life was filled with only love and light. Your life was filled with only love and light. Even if the moment you arrived, it wasn't all there, to the people who delivered you, it was there. They seen the miracle of life. Somebody was there that went, it's a girl, it's a boy, another beautiful child, another one to fill this world, another one to be here, to help make this world a better place. Today is that day once again. As you, in your miracle, I hope in this moment has arrived, that you can see the kindness in you, that you can sit in peace and listen to this message all the way to the end, not get bored, not believe. And I'm sure some have already left because they want instant gratification. Satisfy me now. You're boring, you're old, all the words. I've heard them all. But through my eyes, this is how I've known that I've always been a good human being, because I have learned early that the spirit in me sees beyond the human of you. No matter what you have done, no matter what you've contributed to, no matter even anything, that the spirit in me, the light inside of me, sees the light inside of you. And I see that we're all like, we all have love. It may be buried deep. We all have the opportunity to do better than we did yesterday, to be better than we were the day before. And today is the day that your miracle has arrived. This moment, the miracle, because we're still here. This moment is an opportunity. Because in this moment, you get the choice to choose. Do I dare judge and criticize another today? Do I continue to cancel out? Do I continue to want to censor, fight for people to be shushed up? Or do I make a choice to choose? That if we're going to run these streams, if we're going to run these kind of places, that we consider everybody. None are harmful, don't get me wrong. But everyone has a voice and a freedom and an opportunity to that voice. And as long as it's not harming another, because we should be grown up. And if you're still the bully, if you are the bully, if you were bullied as a kid and now you're bullying everybody else, or if you're telling your kids not to bully, with your bullying, with your words, your actions, your thoughts. And it's time for us to all, time for you to spiritually grow up, time for you to let go. Walk back through the past. Look at the experience through the eyes of the adult today. Bend the story into a new reality, and see yourself at the end still standing, succeeding. And instead of bullying the world and using your brilliance and your gifts to fear the world or to try to be more powerful, more superior, try to be more loving, more compassionate, more kind. And if you're in the world and you're fearful to let your beautiful, kind self be shown, or you're trying to be tougher because somebody told you to be tougher, don't bother. Be softer. The world needs the softness. The world needs the gentle. The world needs the kind. We need the balance. We can't operate all on one or the other. There's a yin and there's a yang. You chose this card, or you chose to sit here and listen with me so that you can see through myself, through my voice, through the mirror reflection, that this moment gives you an opportunity as you breathe in the beauty of the picture and the beauty of this moment, the beautiful soft colors, the pinks, the purple, the mom holding a baby with such love, admiration, when time stops. And in this moment, I ask of you to just allow time to stop. Just take a deep breath. Even close your ears. Cover your ears, close your eyes, hold your hand to your heart, and take a deep breath in. Here's a miracle. And breathe out and just let go. Feel the softness in the breath in. And just let go again. And as you let go, just take a step back, a step away from everything today, a step away from that keyboard warrior moment you're about to have, from that decision that you're going to make to ban somebody. Step back and take a look in the mirror. How that feels to have it done to you. Do unto others that you would have them do unto you. Love and respect, right? Think about that. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. There's a truth there. And as you start to take that step back, you're not stepping to the past. You're stepping away from something that will catch you tomorrow or the next day. That may be a regret later on. That may be a sadness. That may be a I should have, could have, would have done something different in the moment. With that breath, you have an opportunity to start again. Now step back into the miracle. Step back into your breath. Step back into you. You're the miracle of today. You're the miracle. And let's start to give birth to a new moment. Allow this new moment that you're in now to be a magical moment so that you can feel the loving, magical moment. And what's happening outside of us, outside in our world, as an ambulance goes by or a police car, whatever it may be, know that the world will always have a world that will be outside of your control. I'm not Superwoman. I can't get to whatever that is happening out there and fix that. I can be a superwoman inside of me. Please, can you be a superwoman, a superman inside of you? And so as I go back to the card and we start again, return to the miracle of the awe of birth, of anything, of giving birth, a seed being sprouting through the ground, a tree, a new experience, a new opportunity. If this is not magic, I don't know what is. If you look at the birth of a child and you see the magic in that, and if you can't, you may need to step back and take another breath. But I don't know what is magic. So today, I invite you to see yourself in that same, held in that same love, held in that same moment, that same breath of when you took the breath in. See yourself in love. See yourself believing and holding to hope. See yourself as special, but not any more special than anyone else. See yourself as worthy. And if any of these words seem as if they're foreign to you, well, this is your opportunity. Not depend on the world outside of you to provide that. To find the peace. It's not the responsibility of the world. You are now a woman, and it is your responsibility to do the things that you expect others to do for you. And if you can do anything today, look into the eyes of another and look at where they have been. Look at what they're going through. You may not agree with their side, but look at their experience with the same compassion and love that you want another to look at yours. And as I wrote through the next deck of cards that will be coming, I wrote the page The End. And this is how all of my creations start. And hidden behind there, it's hard to see, there's the angel. She's probably not an angel, probably just another woman on earth, another man on earth, another child on earth, walking away. And when all of this started, when last February I seen Archangel Michael hit the ground and the earth shook, and he told me it would be catastrophic, I didn't go to fear. I went to faith. And I continued to keep operating my life, my business, unfolding, publishing of my first book, the oracle cards, in the impossible times. I made it possible. Way more challenging, but I kept moving. But there was a song that kept coming up, and it was The End of the World as I Know It. And that would play over and over. With this chaos, this messed up faces of ours, that's something new. That's another fair story. And so as I wrote this one today, the end of the world as I knew it to be is the words that I changed it to. It channeled it. I channeled this. And then the whole picture of her walking away or walking towards something. Which one was it? Was she walking away or was she walking towards something? Because that's the endings and the beginning. When one is ending, we're walking into a new one. There's a new rebirth. So as I looked at her, I'm like, are you really walking away? Or are you pausing and looking at what you're going to be walking into? And what I wrote was, I quit you. I am not quitting on me. I quit you. I quit the old. I quit the fear. I quit the old energy. I quit believing a long time ago many of the things that were being told to me and said, I'll think for myself, thank you. And I'll research and I'll listen to both sides. I will stay in the center of my crossroads and I'll look all the way around. I'll gain new perspectives. I will not run. I'll stay in the present moment. I just finished creating and writing and healing from a world that I'd been suppressing and avoiding and trying to run from, to walk into a life of more than existing. To know that most of our lives, we're in our little white lies. We're in telling ourselves these, we're living in the illusions of our truth. We tell us the truth that we tell the lies that we believe to be true so that we can stay comfortable. And then we convince other people, we want to convince other people to come to our side. And that's the truth. And I've made peace that I'm not going to be liked by all. I'm not going to be loved by all. And I don't have to convince anybody. And I've also stopped convincing myself. So I've quit on that part of myself that was that inner voice of judgment upon myself. I've quit on the woman who criticizes herself. And I've accepted me, my responsibility, and my own personal role in this world. And I'll do my part. And that's the miracle of life. We're here to try again today. So today we get to be a new person. And what I wrote was, I deserve loyalty, honesty, love, and respect. And if I demand it and command it from myself, I'm also asking of it of the world, asking of the people that we pay to advertise our businesses through. If you're loyal to the anti of any sense of destroying anyone who is the people who feed your companies. Maybe you need to stop and pause and think, what is everybody fighting for? And is everybody truly ever going to get all their own way? And are we really truly coming together, or are we causing more divide than ever? It was the last thing we need. I am respecting myself enough to say no. I am not free. But I'm choosing to be free, choosing my freedom. And if it means that I have to never be seen on a screen, I'm not here to be a celebrity. I'm here to be real. I didn't start this business to be a somebody. I started this healing journey so that I could learn to live in a world where there was a whole lot that were only thinking of what was happening around them. And being a sensitive being, I had to do something differently. I couldn't change the world. I had to change me. And I didn't try to be anything. All of this is just happening for me because I set myself free. And I'm not as free as long as I give myself away for free. And that's the truth. And so when I start to write the powers of the I am, as I looked at this beautiful, not so pretty picture, this creation, I am not fearless or fearful. I am existing. And I am living in faith. I am not gutless. I am not your mother. I am tired of apologizing for being me. I am tired of walking in shame. I'm tired of having to hide some of who I am. And I'm tired of waiting for the day that somebody says, oh, you are not this or that, so we cancel you out. So, because I know I'm tired, I've made a choice to rest and spend a lot of time with the person that I'm loving the most right now. And it's not my human, don't get me wrong. It is my soul self. It's the one that I see beyond the human, the one that was always unconditional love. So if you can do anything today, don't see yourself walking away from everything. See yourself walking into your new life. See yourself walking into your miracles. See yourself just walking forward. And watch and see. Before you know it, you see yourself living in a beautiful new creation, a new life. It doesn't mean the rest of the world will change. It means yours is changing. So today, as we go back to the card of purity, wholeness, we've got to be willing to walk the last kilometer, the last mile, so that we can see the truth. And if you've ever watched the movie The Green Mile, see how one person, because he was so different, so unique, didn't look like a typical little teddy bear. He was a great big man. He was quiet as a mouse. He didn't fight. He didn't get into a big sense of fight for himself. He had faith. And yet, the insecurities, the fears, the judgments cost that man everything for them to be right. And only in the end did the truth come out. And no matter what they did to him, he still hoped. He still hoped because he didn't lose himself. He stayed in peace of who he was, willing to be crucified, just like Jesus. Other people's need to be right, their insecurities and their fears, made the ultimate sacrifices. And in the end, I could see what beautiful human beings, what beautiful people we crucify and turn them into, make them out to be ugly people just to satisfy needs. That will never be the world for me. Never was. So today is my end, my beginning. A miracle moment, an opportunity. And as I hold this little soul self tight, thank you. And I tell that little soul self, thank you. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for holding me. Thank you for reminding me that I am the miracle I need to see today. And with peace and love, I set in this new energy. And I also invite you, if you've managed, if you've stayed till the end, that you didn't do it for me, that you did it for you. And that you can see today, to take that breath in one more time and you breathe out, that you can see that today you are the miracle, that you are the blessing, and that the world needs you. So today, in this very moment, is your opportunity to let it all go, and to come home to here, and to start to build a relationship with the other part of you, the most beautiful piece, the unconditional love. Much love. Thank you for being here. This is not what I thought was coming today. This was not in my plan. Wow. And these are never edited. These are exactly as is, and I let them go. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope in some way this card if you're seeing it and if you're just listening, that you can feel the softness of unconditional love, because that's what my heart, the mystic, the channel, all that I am today is offering to you. Whenever you are listening to this, whenever you find this, that you feel of unconditional love. We all hurt. We all bleed. We all make mistakes. We all F up. And that it's okay to say, I am hurt. Your hurt will never heal by wanting to hurt another. Return to the arms of love. See it as a miracle and an opportunity. And today, if you can do anything, please be kind. Much love. Thank you.